Today we're diving into a really fascinating psychological dynamic. That constant tug of war between our need for control and our own self-confidence.
Just listen to this quote. It's from a letter sent to psychologist Adam Blanche, and wow, does it hit close to home for a lot of us. It's that feeling, right? Like you're trapped on a hamster wheel of planning, and that sense of safety you're chasing is always just out of reach. So I want you to just think about that for a second. Does that sound like you? Do you find yourself mentally rehearsing for every single bad thing that could happen? Making lists of your lists, just trying to nail down every last variable in your day, or your week, or your life? Yeah. If you do, you are definitely not alone.
So, to really get what's going on here, we have to look at how our brain tries to make us feel safe. And the source material gives us this brilliant way of thinking about it. It's basically a constant battle between two completely different internal systems.
Okay, check this out. It's like we have two different modes. On one side, you've got control. You can think of this as your logical, analytical left brain. Its whole job is to look at what's happened before, to predict the future, all with the goal of avoiding failure at all costs. But then, on the other side, you've got confidence. This is driven by your intuitive right brain. This is your gut feeling. And here's the key. It doesn't try to prevent failure, it just trusts that you can handle it when it happens.
Now, there's actually a technical term for this gut-level trust. It's called self-efficacy. And it's not about being 100% sure you're going to succeed. No, it's about being sure you can cope with whatever happens. And that is such a crucial difference. It's the belief in your ability to handle challenges as they come, instead of trying to build a future where no challenges can ever touch you.
And this, right here, this is the core idea of this whole explainer. It's an inverse relationship. As your trust in your own ability to handle things goes up, that desperate, white-knuckled need to control every single outcome starts to go down. But okay, what does healthy confidence even look like? Because it's not about just being blindly optimistic or, arrogant. It's a spectrum, and finding that sweet spot, that healthy balance, is everything. So, Psychology Today defines genuine confidence as a belief in yourself that is rooted in a realistic sense of what you can do. It's about really knowing your strengths, but also knowing your weaknesses, and just being okay with that.
And of course, both ends of that spectrum have some serious problems. Underconfidence, well, it can totally paralyze you with fear, right? It makes you miss out on huge opportunities. But then there's overconfidence, which can easily slip into arrogance, causing you to overestimate what you can do and, frankly, leads you straight into failure.
And this brings us to a super important point. Confidence is not, and I repeat, not the same thing as narcissism. Genuine confidence comes from self-awareness. It lets you look at your own flaws and insecurities without just falling apart. Narcissism, though, that often grows out of those exact same insecurities, but it covers them up with this shield, this defense mechanism of feeling superior to everyone else. So what if you're feeling underconfident? Are you just stuck that way forever? No way. And this is the best part. Confidence isn't some fixed trait you're born with. It's actually a set of skills that you can learn and develop over time. I mean, how empowering is that? This idea from the source material is just fantastic. It means that wherever you are right now on that confidence spectrum, you have the power to change it. You can literally learn to be more confident through practice and effort.
So how do we actually do it? Well, here's a great little framework for building up that mental strength. First, set and meet small goals. You're building a track record, creating evidence for yourself that you're capable. Second, work on shifting your thoughts, not from negative to blindly positive, but from negative to just more realistic. Third, you got to challenge yourself and get comfortable being uncomfortable. And finally, that leads to number 4, learn to tolerate that discomfort, because that is exactly where the growth happens.
So let's make this real. Think about a high-stakes situation, like a huge job interview. You can build confidence by doing your homework, sure, but also by thinking about past mistakes and how you grew from them. You can literally practice being in that nerve-wracking situation. See, at the end of the day, you're not just preparing for the interview, you are building a deeper, more fundamental belief that you can handle whatever the outcome is.
And these ideas don't just apply to us adults. They're also incredibly powerful when we think about raising the next generation. We can actively help our kids build a solid foundation of real, genuine confidence.
So how do we do that? The sources say we should let kids solve problems on their own. We should treat their mistakes not as failures, but as learning opportunities. When we validate their feelings, we teach them to trust their own internal compass. And this one is huge. We need to avoid dumping our own anxieties on them. That's what teaches them to trust their ability to handle the world, instead of being afraid.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's just circle right back to that main idea, the crucial takeaway. It all boils down to this. The more you truly trust yourself, the less you will feel that desperate need to control everything around you.
And why is that? It's because confident people are just operating from a different place. They're not driven so much by fear or anxiety. They have this core trust that, things will probably work out okay. They can accept that other people are allowed to make their own choices. And maybe the biggest thing of all is they're more willing to just flow with life instead of trying to fight against every single current.
So let's end with this question for you to think about. If you knew, deep in your bones, that you could handle any outcome, success, failure, embarrassment, joy, all of it, what's one thing you would do differently tomorrow? What risk would you take? What conversation would you finally have? Because that is the kind of freedom that genuine confidence can unlock.